Whoa. Before you go any further, guys, some of the content on Talking Brick may not be suitable for children under 13 years old.
So if you want to see some of our family-friendly content, go ahead and check down below here, guys. Look for Talking Brick with the green logo. That's Talking Brick Family. Amen. Talking Brick. Amen. Amen. We're here, Talking Brick. So we were wandering around earlier, and we found this guy. He's gonna hang out. You may know him, right?
By the dumpster.
Hanging out by the dumpster. I don't know why that would be a thing.
So, Chris, owner operator, Ladder Brick Co. here, guys, or one of the owners.
Yep.
We wanted this episode to be very special. We have Shannon Thomas here today on Talking Brick, but he has a very special job today, and that is he is going to be a ghost. So, how long has this prank been going on with a Malachi, one of your employees?
It's been going on for about 6 months.
All right, so we got Shannon here. All right, say it to people, Shannon.
Shannon Thomas.
There you go.
Nice to be here.
Very busy guy, man. I follow him on Instagram. Definitely always shouting him out there. Kenneth, you got some cool things to say about Shannon since you've known him?
Well, I got to work with Shannon on a little film we did. Still waiting for Steve to... hey, Steve! Steve! Where are you? Where's our film?
The last time I talked to Steve, he was waiting on you.
Oh, great.
It's a standoff.
So I gave him everything I'm supposed to give him. Anyways, but no, we did a film called Welcome to Harlem, Georgia. Had a little controversy with the trailer. You remember we had like 3,000 views in a week because people were like, "Oh, you're making our town look bad," or something like. They thought that we were dogging on Harlem, Georgia. We weren't. Okay, so
It's just a typical small town.
typical small town.
Regular
Could have
town.
been any other small.
That's what it does.
But no, Shannon's awesome. I had a pleasure working with him on that, and hopefully some other stuff coming up soon. So.
Yep.
All right, so you guys probably got your likes and clicks out the way. Follow us on Instagram there as well. So as usual, guys, Talking Break here, we ask these guys some cool questions here. Yep.
Bucket.
And then we also have our bucket of Lego minifigures that has not been looked in, so we don't know anything that's going on. Kenneth. Okay. The lies, right? The lies. And the shame that happens.
Sorry, I had something on my forehead.
All right. Let's see here. Oh, man. All right, hold on. What is this guy? I don't know what this guy is.
That is a sand person,
All right.
but it looks like
Is it a sand people?
It looks like he has a
So he's a member of the Sand People band. He's the lead guitarist. All right, whatever the noise they make. I guess it's just a bunch of noise that goes on, but it's still the guitar riffs are amazing. All right.
Yeah.
All right, Shannon, your turn. I'm looking at that bucket first, sir.
Caught him. All right.
What you got there?
Young Darth Vader.
Yep.
Yeah,
that's
you can
young
go with
Darth
that
Vader.
one. Yeah, we'll go young Darth Vader.
Anakin.
Anakin.
Skywalker.
Mr.
All right.
I hate sand.
I love Star Wars.
Mr. I hate sand people. Racist.
Yeah. Killing all those sand people. What's wrong with
All
you?
right.
Okay, let's see what we got here.
He's gonna do the noise, guys. He's gonna do it. Here, guys. Here you go.
That's like Scooby-Doo.
Yeah,
That's not even. I'm not the same voice actor. All right, so I got Yoda, the man with the plan.
I got
Oh.
Anakin.
Yeah, that definitely does now blow my mind. So Anakin was just racist against sand people.
Oh man, yeah.
The whole time.
Yeah.
So when he says I hate sand, he was talking about sand people.
Probably, yeah. Man.
Oh.
Vader started with the racism early, didn't he?
Yeah, he went straight for it. I mean, granted, his mom, you know,
right,
and
right,
all,
right.
you know, but still,
Yeah.
forgiveness, right?
Sure.
Jedi's about forgiveness, right?
Yeah.
Are they? I don't know.
Well,
Whatever.
not this Jedi.
Well, he was ever granted the rank of master, so whatever.
So, got to know Shannon a little bit on set, but I didn't really get to hear his story.
It started by accident one night. I called and told him to take the trash out. I had just left the store. I forgot to tell him to take the trash out. I called him and I said, knowing how skittish he was, I was like, oh yeah, hey, and be careful when you take the trash out. People have been seeing things out there. And my mind was going towards, like a raccoon or something.
Animal.
He gets so scared right there on the phone. He's like, no, I'm not gonna do it. I'm not taking the trash out. No, what are you talking about? And so he hangs up he hangs up the phone, and so then the next day I was talking to Mark, one of our employees, telling him how funny that call was.
Yeah.
And I said, you know what, we ought to tell him, get him involved in this big elaborate ghost story. And then I said, no, that's not
That's too much.
professional. That's too much. That's
Yet
not
here we are.
nice. Malachi comes in that day, and I just did it. And so we started having customers, employees saying that they're seeing
You
a
told them to tell
gentleman, a gentleman out by the dumpster with a gray beard and a dark coat. And everybody would come in and say the same thing. Malachi would get all scared.
You have me thinking there's some shit down here. Oh my god. Oh. Man, screw off, Chris. You're preventing me from doing your work. That's not freaking funny. Were you up there with him? You whatever, man.
Shannon, tell me what you did before you were an actor and how you got into acting.
I was a soldier a long time ago. Got out, had a business degree, went to work, was a Walmart store manager for a while, had about a 20-year business career. And I got transferred to Atlanta about 4 years ago. And I'd always wanted to act. And anyway, I'm sitting there doing a payroll report one morning on my computer, and I'm watching the TV. And they talk about the acting in Georgia, the industry, and how it's grown and everything. So I Googled, how to get an acting job in Georgia. And I saw Central Casting come up. So anyway, I decided to be an extra. And to be an extra, it's just to do it as a hobby or to get on a movie set or to have fun, because you sure as heck aren't going to make a living at it. But anyway, it pays like $8 to $12 an hour. So anyway, I started being an extra. And so being an extra, a week after I did and 3 days after I got on the computer and signed up, 3 days later I was on a movie set playing a news reporter. And in less than 2 weeks, I was on the TV trailer, the advertisement for the new season coming out for Survivor's Remorse.
Oh, wow.
And so anyway, I was still working I was a regional manager for a marketing company, and I was in Chicago. And I got a hold of the Empire casting director and said, hey, I'm an extra down in Atlanta. I'd love to be on Empire. And they said, oh my God, it's late in the season. We need a fresh face. So the next day, I'm holding Eva Longoria's hand in a scene. And the whole time I'm doing it, I'm going, they have no idea how little I've been on a movie set. They would kick me out of here if they knew.
Right.
But being there, I got to meet some experienced actors who told me to quit being an extra and go to acting school. Spend your time learning how to be an actor. See if you want to do it. And that's what I did. And so I got an agent a few years ago. And anyway, it's been going great since then.
That's awesome, man. That's pretty cool stuff.
Having a lot of fun with it.
So you have a pretty good success story there.
Yeah. I do commercials. I've got 3 commercials.
And
On
you're
Atlanta
going to
TV
Santa
stations
Claus.
right now.
Santa Claus?
I went to Santa Claus Academy last week. Never dreamed I'd be a Santa Claus. But last August, Warner Brothers got a hold of me and asked me if I wanted to play Santa Claus in a theatrical version of the Polar Express.
Oh, cool.
And I had never done theater before, and I thought they'd be a great opportunity. And so when I asked my agent about playing Santa Claus, I'd been on a series of runs of playing drunks and drug addicts and abusive policemen.
Bearded dudes.
So anyway, I
Reformed
decided,
Santa.
she said, being a Santa Claus would probably be good for your soul right about now.
You're like a
So,
reformed Santa, right?
Yeah. So anyway, I got to work in Fort Lauderdale for 10 straight weeks, and it paid really good. And if you're an actor, 10 straight weeks at the same job's always a bonus.
Yeah.
And I got to be in Fort Lauderdale for November and December. And we did 108 shows, had over 35,000 customers, and it did over $2.5 million at the box office.
Dang.
So it was a big success, and I plan on doing it again this year because it's just a fun job and it's very rewarding.
You
It's
need
fun.
an
It's
elf?
fun. I have a great elf. My elf is a singer dancer.
I tried.
My elf is a singer dancer actress from Chicago, by New York City, but she was raised in Argentina, so she speaks several languages. And that's great to have an elf that can speak several languages. So you got that going for her.
Well, I can.
She's a lot prettier.
I'm just taking L's in this whole thing.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool, man. So you mentioned that you were a soldier. I was also a soldier, and
Thank you for your service.
well, thank you for our service, man. We do what we have to do, right? So being a soldier, for me, it was. I would say it was probably a cakewalk because both my parents were military. But did you ever have an experience where it was just like I don't know if I can do this?
No.
No.
I knew they couldn't kill me. They didn't want to. Anyway, I knew if I died in basic training or if or Ranger school or airborne school. At airborne school they said we haven't had anyone die since 1969. I said just stay awake, man. Stay awake and pay attention, and you'll get through this, right?
Don't be a statistic.
Yeah, don't be a statistic. But those drill sergeants and those guys in charge, they company commanders, they get in trouble. They'll lose their career if they kill you.
Man.
So I just told myself, stay awake, do what they say, get through it.
Did
But I had a great time.
Did you see any Weekend at Bernie's type soldiers that were just kind of cadavering around?
Those guys kind of got weeded out in basic training. I started off infantry school down at Fort Benning,
Okay.
and eventually switched to the cavalry and was a long range recon scout. But and so I served with a bunch of guys that were pretty elite, and so they had to try out to get in that unit. So it was great to be with guys like that because you had highly motivated people and you didn't have any slackers.
Right.
Didn't have any of those guys.
So yeah, I mean, being a soldier, when you come out of that environment that we went through for so long, when you get out, it's like you don't know what you're going to be.
It took 10 years to get used to civilians. I couldn't stand a civilian.
I mean,
and when I started acting, they said, "Well, have you ever?" I said, "I was a drill. Being a sergeant's putting on a show. Acting like a fool sometimes.
Right,
Because that's the role you're going to play. But being a Walmart store manager was putting on a costume every day.
Right.
God, I acted like I cared every day.
Right.
But no, I enjoyed the Army.
I guess the last thing I have to ask you is, do you have your veteran tag on your car?
No.
Oh man, it's gold. I'll tell you right now. I mean, I found out that at Lowe's they have veteran parking. It's like expected mothers over here, and then veteran parking is right here. I mean,
Well, I don't know. I'll say that for someone that so older than me, maybe.
what are you trying to say?
I'm saying you're kind of young to be taking that veteran parking.
I
And
have.
thank you for your service,
But
but you can park out here with the rest of us. Let them old folks set up park up there.
yeah, Rod.
There might be a 93-year-old World War II vet that was looking for that spot, and you took it.
Yeah.
Holy cow!
I'll get my cane out the back for my knee so he can see. Well, I do have injuries. Hey, it's still there.
It's still.
All right, so you guys got a chance to know Shannon a little bit here. The best, amazing Walmart store manager of all time. But also, we got a chance to see some of his work that he's done so far, and we're glad he came out here just to come hang out with us, play with some Lego here.
In
as
case
well.
you were wondering, the Star Wars thing, Shannon said, I asked him earlier, what franchise would you be most interested being a part of as an actor? And he said Star Wars, because he raised his kids on Star Wars. Apparently they're the Jedi's.
They're both
the
Jedi Knights. They're both Jedi warriors.
So I was like, well, we gotta make sure we throw a bunch of random Star Wars. So that's why we have our Star Wars minifigures. So we're gonna go ahead and jump into the build.
All right.
Sound good?
There is a graveyard
Yeah.
right by the dumpster. And then there's a road.
Yeah.
And so the story was always the same. He turned, looked at me, and then he walked towards the road. And Malachi would go, that's where the graveyard is. He'd get all upset.
And you told him it was just
Now
some
it's
dude.
look at the guy that lives in the
Yeah,
neighborhood back
across
there.
the street. Yeah.
So then we take him back there, and we show him the graveyard, and there's a senator buried back there who fought in the War of 1812. Joseph Shaw, Senator Joseph Shaw. And it's the first gravestone you see.
Yeah.
So we take him back there, and he sees it, and he's like, whoa, this is a real thing.
Yeah.
This is really a guy.
Yeah,
And so we have the ghost talk to one of our employees one day, and he tells her that his name's Senator Joseph Shaw. And once that was shared with Malachi, he just lost it.
He lost
got
his mind.
very, very scared. So this has been going on for quite a while.
Done.
Bam.
Look at that.
I think today I'm way better than you today, Kenneth. I'm pretty sure I'm better than you. Right now.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, there's that piece that you
I demanded
you-
back.
dem-
You stole from
so
me.
so it was a demand.
You stole
It
it.
sounds more like a wine, but okay, we'll call it what you like here.
All right, so we have finished our builds. Rod, you want to start? You have the most interesting character, I think. It's a Santa
All right, so
person
guys,
with a,
um,
a guitar.
I didn't know we were supposed to use the character in our thing.
Oh,
I thought I was supposed to do the character.
yeah, no.
Wow. Lack
Well,
of instruction.
well, there you go.
That's what we do. It's how we stay on top of the competition. If we tell you less, we can do more.
Right, right.
All right, so as you know, guys, I had the Sand person. He's a one-man band representing his people. All right, so he plays great songs like "The Heart of Shmee," which is back here. All right. And then he also has other great classics like "We Walk This Line," and then other ones like "We Have a Droid for You."
And my favorite,
Alright.
Sand is coarse, and I like it.
And of course, I like it. Oh, and then the bonus track, "Strength in Numbers." So that's me
Extra
right here.
bonus track.
got
I
some-
hate Anakin's
I got some
mom.
cool pyrotechnics going on here, you know, and then they actually have the Heart of Shmee. Sorry, Anakin, I apologize.
Is that the heavy metal track? I hate Anakin's mom.
So we have our heart.
All right, Shannon. What we
Well,
got?
I didn't understand the ground rules. I thought we were supposed to build something that looked like Anakin. And I was so intent. I was so intense.
That's all right.
And
Hey,
I had my head right here focused.
he
I never,
made a
I never,
statue of himself.
I never looked at what you guys were doing. But what I did was I made a statue
Look at that.
of Anakin.
That's actually better than what anyone's ever made.
That's pretty good, though. I
So
mean,
that's
you-
the best I could do. And I just now
That's
realized.
pretty cool, man.
Yeah, I could have built a house.
Yeah, well,
Why would you
Anakin's
build
new
a
house.
You know,
I
he's
could have
never-
built a
he's-
starship.
He's never
Yeah.
had a home, you know that. I think that's actually the coolest thing I've ever seen. That's better than what you could have done as far as
Right.
a house. You've been a statue of Anakin, looking at Anakin.
I tried.
You know.
So, just like most theories about famous people, Elvis, Tupac, they're not actually dead. Okay? Right? Tupac's still out there hanging out with Elvis. Well, probably not. Elvis was. Anyways, yeah. So Yoda's not dead either. He didn't die. That was just a bunch of propaganda perpetrated by the Empire. Instead, he decided being a Jedi for 900 years was super stressful. I'm gonna run my own bar. So now I have the cantina, his own cantina here, and people don't know that he's a Jedi master. So every now and again, though, he has to subvertently take care of some drones that come to try to cause trouble. So that's him using the Force to break this drone in half, right here, and destroy. Yeah, see, look, the Force, the Lego
I'm
Force.
helping.
and serve drinks all while doing it. And,
Right.
you know,
You got a lot going on up there, don't you?
I do have a lot going on. He's got his own. I mean, this bar is not bad, man. It's a little nice design. It's a Mandalorian bar.
Why is everything a Mandalorian with you now? It's been a Mandalorian since the expo.
So yeah, that's where Yoda is actually at. BT does. Did people still say that?
No, just you, the lamest person of all time.
BT does. I don't even know what that means. I just say it. So we figured we'd cap it because I knew Shannon and I showed him a picture of Shannon to Chris, and we decided this would be the perfect time to finally end this joke properly.
Yeah,
And
we want
that
it
is to break it.
Yeah, we want to end it on our terms. And
On our terms, right?
So last night, I called his mom, and she told him, she's in on it. She told him that while he was at work last night, older gentleman with a gray beard and a dark coat was knocking on the door looking for him. She said he wasn't home. He said he'd be back later. So she texted me later on and said, "Hey,
No.
the bait's been set." And
Yeah.
he's terrified.
All right.
So we're hoping he didn't get any sleep last night. He
Yeah.
comes in ready,
All right,
roaring and raring.
let's do it, man.
Yeah.
You ready?
Yeah.
It's on my queue right now.
It's one of those movies that, you know, has its place.
Takes longer than expected. Human nature.